So, hallo und guten Morgen. Hello and welcome to my day number 2 of 21 days to boost your German vocabulary. So yesterday was our first day and I gave you a couple of fabulous tips and had some great comments as well and some questions, which is exactly what I wanted. If you need any help, please put your questions into the comments and let me know. Also, as I'm recording this through Zoom, I actually can't see any likes or anything. So give us a like, give us a heart. That would be really lovely to see who's actually watching with me online. And as I said, if you have any questions, please put those questions into the comments below. So again, welcome to number 2 of 21 days to boost your German vocabulary. I've put this together because I really want you to get the best out of your vocabulary, and I want you to start learning your vocabulary, your German vocabulary effectively. Today, we're going to be talking about what to put on the cards, on your learning cards. This is another reason why I really like the cards. If you watched yesterday's video, I was talking about different ways of writing down your vocabulary, and one of the types is, for example, if you're using cards. I quite like cards, and today I show you why they're actually very good to use for learning your German vocabulary. For example, a really important reason, a really important thing to do is to write all the details you need onto your cards. And for that, I just wanted to share my screen with you. I just put oh, that's the wrong screen. I didn't want to share that screen. Oh no, it's gone. All right. That's because we're live. It's all really great. I actually wanted to share a different screen. I don't know how I can share that now. So, yeah, don't know how I can share that now. Actually, I think I do. I'm so sorry about this. I've only done this 100 times. And so I do that. And I should, hopefully you can see this. I really do hope you can. Otherwise, you're just watching my Facebook page. Now, so basically the different things you need to add to your cards is when you're learning a noun, for example, you have der Mantel, and add the plural for it, die Mäntel. So der Mantel, die Mäntel. So make sure you're adding the gender of the word, and you're also adding the plural, because as you know, genders and plurals aren't that easy. So make sure when you're learning a word that you're adding that. The same is, for example, if you're learning a verb, make sure you are adding a preposition and the case if the verb has a specific preposition and a specific case. It's really good to add those because that is the way that you learn them better. In English, for example, I would say to be interested in, where in German I would say sich interessieren für. Both German and English use different preposition. Make sure you're learning the verb with your preposition and the case they use. Another thing that you can do for verbs that are put together, like compound verbs, like you can have a look at like teilnehmen. Teilnehmen an is to take part in, but der Teil is a part, and nehmen is to take. So if you look at the two separate parts, it's so much easier to remember the verb teilnehmen. And then in this case, make sure it's teilnehmen an plus using the dative. If you have reflexive verbs like sich anziehen, remember to write the sich as well onto your card. That shows you that the verb is reflexive and needs that extra pronoun when you're using it in a sentence. If you're looking at adjectives, for example, have often certain endings. I come to them, I get to them a little bit later, how to recognize them, pardon me, but also this one, erfolgreich. We have, for example, der Erfolg is success and reich is rich. And the whole adjective is successful. Excuse me. And another thing that you could do is give an example. If you have, for example, a word like egal, equal, it doesn't mean equal in a lot of sentences. So if you, for example, say, es ist mir egal, meaning it doesn't matter to me, it's fine either way. So add a little sentence to your card. And that is really a way that you can work, learn your vocabulary much more effectively and make it more useful to you. It's important to make your vocabulary, deine Vokabeln, ist viel einfacher auf Deutsch zu sagen. It's much easier to say that in German, actually. So it's really important to make your vocabulary useful and accessible to you. So for example, when I'm learning my Greek, I've put different things on the same card. Sometimes I have groups where I just have verb, like the verbs, or I have a little sentence. Pardon me. But other times I also do groups. I have groups of verbs for shopping that actually help me to remember the words because they go together. But also if I need to have a quick look at a card, I can see a couple of words that would be useful for me. And sorry about that, I've got some tickle in my throat, obviously just on a live, isn't it? So that's basically there. So there are a couple of points for you to think about. So when you're writing your words on your cards, on your word cards, make sure that number one, you add the gender and plurals to nouns. Make sure if you have a verb that you add whether it's reflexive or if it has a specific preposition and a case. Thirdly, if you have an adjective and it's out of two parts as well, perhaps it helps you to write down the two parts as well that make up that adjective, or a noun either way, or a verb actually, because they're all compound words. I'll get to them on one of the other days, talk a bit more in detail about the compound words or compositor. But the other thing which is sometimes helpful is to write yourself a little sentence. If you're not 100% sure with how to translate something into your mother tongue, then write a little sentence that gives you an idea of how that word is used. And that is really how you need to be learning your vocabulary. And remember, if you do write them on these cards, then pick a set or pick a certain amount of cards, 10 or 20 a day, and learn them every day. So the longer you learn them, the more likely they go into your long-term memory. So don't just learn them once or twice, just learn them at least 6 times. So there you go. So that's your tip for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and please implement it and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and also whether you like the idea of the colors or the groups or how you're learning your vocabulary. And now earlier I mentioned the genders as well. For any of you that are struggling sometimes with your genders or plurals, next week I've actually been working on a little program to bring out next week. And it's all about genders and plurals and how to conquer that quest of your German genders and compounds, German genders and plurals. Anyway, have a fabulous day still. And I speak to you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye.